Good day to you all, the name is Gin and I welcome you back to F1 2016, more importantly, JolyGin Palmer's career mode. We're here at Russia. If you missed the last episode, go back and watch it. It is a fantastic episode. We are now in 13th in the championship. Spoiler alert. Whoops, my bad. Anyway, you should have seen the last one. It was fantastic. But anyway, we are going into Russia. If you've forgotten already, 50% race distance with a 90-minute practice session and a 20-minute short qualifying session. Last race was really good. Really good. I'm expecting big things from this race, and I'm really hoping that it all comes through. It was such a good result last time out, and all we need to do is capitalise on it. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to David Croft and Anthony Davidson because they know what they're talking about.
Here we are at the fascinating Sochi Autodrome in Russia for what is expected to be a compelling race weekend. Well, it all begins today with practice. A warm welcome once again to the man standing beside me in the commentary box for this session, Anthony Davidson. Hello, Ant. Excited to get underway?
Yeah, absolutely. I always look forward to seeing the cars get out there on track. They probably won't be on the limit immediately, of course. We know that one or two of the teams are looking to do some work on new aerodynamic packages, so that always takes some time to get into. But it'll be really interesting to see later on in the session what kind of performance gains are there to be found.
So, Russia. Let's talk basics. Low tyre wear. That's really good. It allows us to use more tyres less tyres than maybe we needed to in the last race. Obviously, I'm going for this sort of setup. It's lower drag. You do need downforce for many of the corners. Give it a quick pause if you want to look through any of these. I don't say copy mine exactly.
Usage. We have to give 2 sets back at the end of this session, so they'll be unavailable for the rest of the weekend. We'll hand over the 2 most worn sets, so don't ruin tyres you might want to use later. Don't push the car just yet. The track is still green. Try and take it easy for the first couple of laps.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Straight over me, why not? Whilst I'm trying to talk to the lovely people out there. Anyway, yeah, Jeff never timed it right. What was I saying? Yeah, low tyre wear. We're going for a slightly lower drag setup. Not too much though. We don't want to go completely overboard. You do need downforce for this track. Obviously, I'm going to do my normal thing, see what the tyre wear is like on each tyre. Obviously, race pace on medium and soft tyres, and then we'll do a qualifying run on the super softs and see what happens. Obviously, practice last time out meant absolutely nothing because tyre wear was much higher than anyone ever anticipated, so we'll have to watch out for that. But in the meantime, yeah, I'm going to do a couple of laps and show you any highlights if there are any.
That's the fastest lap so far. Well done.
Of course, it's the fastest lap so far. It's the only lap so far. Ugh. Okay, so at worst we're looking at 2% tyre wear per lap, so that's not too bad. I genuinely thought it was going to be a bit better than that, but what are you going to do? Obviously, it's not quite. It's not quite as dramatic as it could be, so that's always good. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Obviously, I want to do well this weekend. That's the goal. If we can score points again this weekend, that would be fantastic. But obviously, we'll have to wait and see what happens, because it should be an interesting one this weekend. I hope it is, anyway. Right, roll on the softs next, I think. That pit lane is so treacherous, and then coming out into the first lap, turn 1 and 2, in fact, are pretty lethal. The AI just freak out a little bit, so we've got to be careful going through there. Let's see what our tyre wear is going to be like. I could do with a little bit more front downforce going through that fast left-hander. So that's something to bear in mind. We'll see what happens on our fast lap, 'cause the tyres... Oh, no, 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 no!
Confirm you're okay, please.
Oh, no! We're out. We're out. I can't believe it. The one and only practice session we got, just lost the back end, and yeah, I couldn't recover it. Wow. The only thing I know, the only thing I know is 2% tyre wear on the mediums, and we don't know our qualifying pace. Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting one. Crofty, take us away to qualifying, will you?
Welcome back to Sochi. We're about to be joining the action down in the pit lane as the cars get ready to embark on their qualifying runs. This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
Disastrous practice session, let's just say that. What I did notice was the lack of front grip going through, especially the left-hander. I thought it would be a problem on the medium tyres, but it seems to be a problem on the soft tyres as well. Preemptively, I'm sort of thinking, as I'm grabbing the setup again, preemptively I'm thinking of, well, basically giving myself that front grip going through this session, and then maybe either lowering or raising the front wing, whatever works best. But for now, we have to...
All set. Everyone clear? Car to track.
We have to get ourselves into a position where we can keep up with the cars ahead with only 2 laps of practice. In fact, not even that. We're 1 timed lap. And if it's no surprise to anybody, yes, I finished last in that session, so don't worry about it too much. But yes, this should be a very interesting session. We're pretty much into the unknown. I'm going to use this qualifying session to sort of see what the tyre wear is like for the super soft tyres. Remember, this qualifying session is difficult because if we qualify in the top 10, we have to use whatever tyre we set in this session. So we have to be careful in a 50% race. That's crucial. So you really have to be careful on the tyres on your outlap, as well as warming them up. So yeah, it's a very difficult thing to get right. But hopefully, 2% on the mediums, whatever tyre wear is like on these sets of tyres, then we can just sort of guess. I mean, we would have guessed anyway, but we'll have to guess even more now. Right, brakes seem okay, tyres seem a bit warmed up. Keep an eye on that tyre wear gauge. It's going to be a good indicator of how this weekend's going to go in terms of tyre wear. We'll take the last corner slightly wide so we can get a better apex, better traction, and away we go. Here we go. Okay, 139.2, and I don't believe for a second that it's 2% tyre wear per lap. Not at all. If we're slower than the Williams, I think I was only by 0.4 we're slower than Bottas, so we have decent pace, I think. We'll have to wait and see though. Faster than Alonso so far, I'm happy with that. In terms of the next game, which comes out next month, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this career mode, which is a huge shame. Obviously there's 21 races, we're on race 4. I'm going to be trying churning through these as best I can, but if F1 2017 comes out and I haven't finished this career mode, well, I think I'll just say I was replaced by Robert Kubica. I think that'll satisfy everyone, because that's a completely fair move. So as you can see, we are 0.8 faster so far than K-Mag. Yeah, it's not a bad lap. Not at all. Look at that, we posted exactly the same time as Fernando Alonso. Exactly the same time. That's weird. That's very weird. It's not the first time it's happened, of course, but very weird. Just under 3 minutes to go, we are a P11. P11. So we have a good amount of time to really get out there and set a lap time. I've reduced the fuel to 3 laps. We're going to use more than that, obviously, but yeah, this should be interesting. So let's go out. We've got a new set of tyres on, and let's go for that top 10 if we can. I told you this weekend was going to be a pretty quick one in terms of pace. So let's see what we can do. Now, do what we did before. It's simple, isn't it? Do what we did before, but only quicker. That exit isn't going to help anybody, and we've also got Hamilton behind us. And that's not going to do anyone any good. So... P9 we're starting. So we will start on those sets of tyres you see before you, which is bad news, very bad news.
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow. Your top 3 are Hamilton, Raikkonen and Max Verstappen. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow, where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, it's goodbye.
Lewis Hamilton just gets in front of Kimi Raikkonen and Sebastian Vettel down there in P6. We are 0.8 slower than Lewis Hamilton, but I can't help but feel we held him up on that lap. No penalties for anybody. What you see is what you get. I'm looking forward to this. Crofty, bring us to the race.
Welcome along then to the final moments of peace before a grid full of the world's fastest racing cars fire into life and charge down towards the scuffle of turn 1. Built on the shores of the Black Sea, the Sochi Autodrome is a 3.6-mile tour around some of the venues built for the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. Close barriers may make overtakes more challenging, but with 56% of the lap taken absolutely flat out, we certainly won't be wanting for pure speed. A fitting arena then to do battle at the pinnacle of motorsport. And alongside me to take you through it all is none other than Anthony Davidson. This was a circuit that I think in its inaugural race got off to a bit of a shaky start, but since then it's really drawn the fans in and become a very popular event. What do you think changed?
Well, this just goes to show the importance of fixing problems as and when you discover them. As a complete unknown quantity in 2014, the tyre choice was quite conservative, which didn't really allow much in terms of different strategy options. So it was pretty much as you were from lights to flag. But that was a great learning experience, and we came back the next year and had a really exciting Grand Prix, with battles for the podium going on all the way to the final lap. So hopefully we'll be treated to more of the same this year.
We're predicting that you will be racing for 14th place today. See what you can do.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Kimi Räikkönen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Ricciardo, Nico Rosberg, and Vettel, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Palmer, and Felipe Massa, Kvyat, Grosjean, Fernando Alonso, and Button, Perez, Sainz, Esteban Gutierrez, and Pascal Wehrlein, Magnussen, and Harry Anto, Felipe Nasser, and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
For those of you wondering for the huge gap between me and K-Mag, I can't explain it either. I mean, the AI aren't very quick around this circuit, which is why I'm thinking we have a chance. Anyway, the team want us to try and do a one stop for this race, which should be very interesting. We will underfuel ourselves very slightly, maybe 1.5 laps, maybe 2 laps. We will have to do some fuel saving, but I am looking forward to this race. It is always a hectic race, Russia, and with clouds overhead, it looks like tyre wear is going to be much, much more than anybody anticipated. The team want us to do 15 laps on these super soft tyres, which have already been used for qualifying, 17 laps on the softs. Let's see what happens, shall we? So, into rich revs, clutches in, 5 lights are on. Let's go racing! Decent start, but it all gets mad into here as Rosberg and Ricciardo collide. Yellow flags are out, green flags. Oh god, it's nightmarish already. And Sainz is out of the race.
They've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring. Safety car deployed. The safety car has been deployed. Watch your delta. Make sure you keep it positive as we catch the pack.
Let's have a look at what just happened. Well, I mean, we just catch the very end of the incident, but as you can see, front left tyre off from Sainz. Yeah, not great. Sorry, Sainz. Meanwhile, let's focus on our race now. This is a perfect time to conserve fuel. Bit of pressure off there. But as you can see, this...
want you to shift up through the gears earlier. They think it'll save fuel. Understood. Copy that.
I don't really need to know anything under the safety car. Right, anyway, yeah, we're down a position on our starting lap. But of course, there will be at least a couple of laps where we're on this slow pace, which allows us to fuel save. Not only that, but to save the tyres as well, which is really, really important. We need to do that. I have had no sort of indication from the team that they want to change strategy, so let's carry on as we were, and if I run wide like in the previous race under the safety car, then so be it. But yeah, Sainz out of the race on the first lap.
Kevin has come into the pits. Kevin in the pits now.
Interesting. So is that a switch onto 2 stops for K-Man? Or he might have had damage. Either way, he's switching strategy. And I reckon K-Man's going to go for a 2 stop now, so That may mean we might have to. If Renault are doing it for K-Mag, they might do it for us, so we'll have to wait and see. Don't do an Ericsson. Don't crash under the safety car. It's not worth it. By all means spin, by all means run wide and lose a position, but don't crash. Another lap under the safety car. All that's happened is we got to the second corner. That's literally all the highlights of the race so far. Oh, don't tell me this is going to be the actual Russian Grand Prix of this year. Ah, he brake checked me. Means I can ram into the side of him, doesn't it? Well, the FAI said that's okay. That's for brake checking me. Here we go. Is that Hamilton up the front? Oh, he's brake checking everybody. This is ridiculous. Oh! Grosjean's got the jump on me. Wow. Whoa, Grosjean's on a charge, look. That was an amazing move from Grosjean there. Fair play to him. He hasn't got the straight line speed. Oh, he's going to cut us off there. Dangerous there from Grosjean. Grosjean just completely got that absolutely spot on. Unfortunately, he didn't have the top end speed, which is good for us because we had Massa to pull us through. But yeah, here we go. Race now has begun on lap 5.
We're considering switching to an alternate strategy. Do you want to change or stick to plan A?
Is this to a 2-stop? No, they want to pick a lap earlier.
Okay, copy that.
I think if we can stretch these tyres out as long as we can, that stops us going to a 2-stop. And therefore losing a lot of time. Right? Back me up on this. That was making a move up ahead. He's got it. I'm not sure who it was on. I think it was Hulkenberg. It is Hulkenberg. Oh, engine's gone, but who is it for? It's Vettel! Vettel's out! Oh, please don't be another safety car. Please, no. Closing up on Massa, but he's going to have the straight line speed for days through here. The fact that he's slipstreaming Hulkenberg as well means we don't really have a lot of chance. But staying on the back of him will maybe help us. DRS enabled. We will have it. Coming onto this lap now. Massa has it. Oh, Massa and Hulkenberg getting way too close for comfort. Can we just get it down the inside of Hulkenberg here? Hand goes up. There must have been contact. Oh, we are through. Chance on Massa now. Down the inside. Renault engine. Somehow quicker than a Mercedes. Up into P7. The tyres still feel good, and the pit window opens next lap. I have to be honest with you, tyres feel absolutely brilliant. Massa's going to have a move down the inside, is he? Thinks better of it, but he's right there, so we're going to have to be careful down the main straight. Well, I say straight. That's Bottas coming into the pits. Do an undercut. Can Massa do anything? He can't. He's too far back. This is what I'm talking about. We do have pace around here.
Some information on Hamilton. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Ooh. May have just spiced things up a bit. Massa down the inside. Makes it look easy. Does Massa come? Yes, he does. we're going to stay out. The tyres actually feel okay. He says as he runs wide at the last corner. So, Grosjean now closing in. There he goes. Easy. Also, he thought, after I want to give the position back, but Perez is there now. Where has Perez come from? He's got electric pace right now. He must have stopped a couple of laps ago and is just flying around the circuit now. We were meant to do 12 laps on these tyres to get us to the end, so that's what I'm aiming to do, 12 laps on these tyres. Because we're not losing too much time on our delta. And the pit lane in Russia costs a lot of time. So if we can, we need to stick out the one stop. Here comes Perez. No competition we have. We can't do anything against Perez. And at that point, there's no point battling him. Well, we are 2 seconds off the pace right now. So I said our deltas are okay. Apparently, no, they're not. But I still think I can make a one-stop work. There goes Grosjean into the pits. We can stay in that beautiful slipstream of Perez there. Perez is in the lead. How about that? Stay in that beautiful, glorious slipstream. Ooh, a bit of a scary oversteer moment there. Back end just wanted to let go. But we're not falling away from Perez rapidly, that's for sure. So these tyres are still good. That's what that means. At the moment, they're just as quick as someone on soft tyres. As I run wide, that's not going to do us any good at all. Right. I've lost a lot of time there, but that's my own fault. So don't put that down to the tyres, man. Right. We will pit next lap.
We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy. The pit window is open. Pit window currently open. Conditions should remain dry. We will keep you informed of any changes to the weather. Right, come in at the end of this lap.
Here we go. Into pit lane. So, what can we do from here? We're going onto the soft tyres. And we are the only car in pit lane. This is good. 2.9. Not as quick as another stop we had, but it'll do. Right. So the question is now, where do we rejoin? Magnussen on medium tyres there. So he is going to the end. And we have rejoined just behind him in 12th place. Which I don't think is too bad.
Some information on Hamilton. They're speeding up again, so I expect they've fixed whatever the problem was.
Just be very careful when it comes to Magnussen. Hopefully he won't put up too much of a fight for us. He lets us have it there. We could have battled on. He just let us have it there. Thank you, K-Mag. So, P11 right now. Hopefully, these tyres will get us to the end. How are they doing? 1% already. Good. So they've got to last us how many laps? We're on lap 13. That's maths. 14 laps these tyres have to last, so hopefully, even if the tyre wears 2% a lap, it should go to 28%. Grosjean's got past K-Mag. There is a bit of debris on that right-hand side there. I don't know if anybody saw that. But these two up ahead are battling, and that's going to bring us into the fight. I've just worked it out. Towards the end of the race, we're going to have 30% plus tyre wear, which around a track like this isn't going to be too healthy, but if we can look after the tyres, we should be okay. So it does have a Mercedes engine. That's the only problem with trying to make a move on him. Try and lunge it down the inside. And we've got him into P10. focused on catching Hulkenberg right now. So focused. If we can catch him, that would be brilliant.
Is ahead of you. The gap to the car ahead is 1.4 seconds. You're gaining by 1/10 a lap. They're on fresh softs. The time last lap was a 1:42.0. Is 1.0 seconds. You're closing by 0.4 per lap. They're on old softs. The time last lap was a 1:42.1.
DRS this lap. No, you don't get DRS. What? It just cut out. Perez now. Oh, Perez! Perez! No! No! I don't believe it. Our DRS cut out. And we've been taken out by Perez. A good chance of scoring points and we're taken out. For the second time this season, we've been taken out of the Grand Prix. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Brilliant stuff from Red Bull today. What a superb victory. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
And I can see now the drivers are making their way out. We need Red Bull fighting at the front. They do an incredible amount for Formula One, and that's another winner's trophy heading back to Milton Keynes. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It's a good result for Nico Rosberg, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Let's give it to Sergio Perez. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improve their position in the championship. There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
Perez, driver of the day. Are you having a laugh? And of course, he would have got nothing for that collision. Yeah, nothing. What a shock! What a shock! Well, I can only apologise for what's just happened. Good chance of scoring points, and when you're taken out by the AI, there's not a lot you can do. So, I mean, what can I say to that? We have a look at the drivers' standings. Rosberg is leading the championship. 23 points separates himself and Lewis Hamilton. Daniel Ricciardo gets boosted up after a poor weekend from Lewis Hamilton, finishing down in 5th place. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, we're still in 13th place. Hulkenberg moves up to 14th. 15th place from K-Mag, so that was a good result for him. In the Constructors, we remain 8th place, having only scored at the last race. Mercedes, though, on top. Their lead has come down to 47 points. But what an absolutely shocking weekend. 2 crashes. One was my fault, definitely. Practice was my fault. The race, though, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. No doubt I'll go to the stewards. No doubt I'll have no luck. But Spain next. And I'm terrible at Spain. I'm absolutely shocking. So I can only hope we can finish in the top 22 when it comes to Spain. But that's it for this episode. Unfortunately, it may have been a short one. I think this must have been just under an hour, but we'll see. I'm very sorry. What can I say? This weekend looks so promising, but these things happen. You just have to move on from them. So until Spain, I will see you all in the next episode. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to the stewards.